All right, everybody, let's talk about tips and tricks for gathering research ammunition. So we need to get piles and piles of ammo to stand on top of solid research that's been tested, that's been reviewed. Now we want to get all that, organize that, access it, and then analyze it and make sense of it for our own dissertation research. So we have some key questions for this small crash course. Where do we go to get reliable sources, peer-reviewed sources? And once we get there, then what do we do? And then finally, once we gather our ammo, how do we stay organized so that we don't lose track of all the different patterns, all the different files, and then start making meaning from those to make our dissertation even more successful? Because what we're talking about here is literature review, chapter 2. It's the first chapter that you write. Once you get your problem, purpose, and research question, you then pivot directly to chapter 2. You actually write chapter 1 later. So today we're really talking about gathering ammunition for the Lit Review, chapter 2. Let's get started. So the first thing we want to do is go to the MTSU Joule search. You go straight to the advanced search. That's where I like to go. Once you click that, you go directly to a multi-layered search engine up at the top where you can start to layer some of your keywords, key terms from your problem, purpose, and research question ideation generation from earlier. So you start layering in. There's two samples there, creativity and education. It's going to give you some options here on the bottom left to pick scholarly and peer review, and then online only. So that first checkbox is going to kick out everything that's not peer reviewed, and that's a great place to start. It's like a Brita filter, just kicks it out. The second thing is going to give you access to only what MTSU can give you on these databases. So everything else gets filtered out. There may be a source that you have to use for interlibrary loan perhaps, or maybe we could get another library, but oftentimes we click online only so that we can filter out things they can't give us anyway. Then we start to see that we have a tremendous amount of hits here in our search. So what we want to do is start to play around with the search layerings and combinations in the top 3 bars there. So let's try it. Creativity, education, and then learning. So we're going to layer those together. We still have a chance to pick our scholarly peer review, and then of course online only boxes on the bottom left. And we notice that the number has come down quite a bit, even though there's still a great deal to paw through. So you want to take the 3 boxes at the top and use those in various combinations, various layerings to see what you can get, because each time you'll get something a little bit different. But once you start to get a combination that you like, it'll start generating hits for you that are peer-reviewed and instantly accessible. For example, if you click right here, you can download directly the PDF. It pops right up and you can put it into your flash drive and folders. We're going to talk about how to stay organized here just in a few minutes. So when you bank, you can bank onto an account on the actual library website, or you can just start grabbing and saving directly to your own files. I live by the flash drive. It's a little old school, but that's how I do it. So here's our recipe for success, a little bit of a recap of what we just talked about. Once on the MTSU library page, you put in your keywords, layer it multiple ways, multiple combos. Then, once the search generates, scroll down and onto the left, you click full text online and peer review scholarly. There's your Brita filter. This will give you access to only the scholarly work available at the MTSU databases. Also, we want to take this same recipe and jump over to Google Scholar to see what they provide, eric.ed.gov to see what you can find here. Notice they have a peer review, a full text option right there in the middle, 2 check boxes. And then lastly, for more practitioner friendly, not as much hardcore research if you will, but great resources is Educational Leadership's website, ASCD. Now when you click on this tab here for Educational Leadership, you'll go right to their magazine that has hot articles from last few years, maybe even the last few months, that are relevant to your dissertation research. So now you have a lot of places to go and a lot of ways to search through and get your ammunition. But what do we do next? We have to find out how to stay organized. So this is a screenshot of my flash drive and how I stay organized. I want you to find out a way to do it for yourself that makes sense. For me, I'm very meticulous. Every single thing I read gets its own Word document where I bank my quotes and bank my notes. So let's peek inside one of these. So if we were to open up the file for Creativity Research and Interdisciplinary Multidisciplinary Research Handbook, you can see that my notes here start from the very beginning. We have the introduction and quotes that I think I want for later. This is very time consuming. It's not very efficient, but this is how I do it. I want you to find out a way that works for you, but I'm not playing around, essentially. Here's another peek. This is Zigzag Chapter 7 by Keith Sawyer. This is everything that I need. In fact, I don't need this book again. Everything I need is right here. So I want you to think about how to stay organized for yourself, how to take notes, how to gather your ammo and make sense of it, and then stay organized. For example, here's a screenshot of my dissertation folder where I kept all of my files. You can see that I have a tremendous amount of files. I have files just for my first draft, my second draft, all the way down to my fifth draft where I have all 5 chapters inside that folder. So inside of chapter 5, or excuse me, the dissertation draft 5 files, I have all of these versions. Notice what I do here. I have everything dated and in certain cases time-stamped. I don't throw anything away, not even files that have errors and won't open again. I never want to let something go because I'm doomsday prepping just to make sure. And there's of course the final draft. You can see that I'm tracking files all the way back to March of 2016 down to July. So we keep everything organized in your own way. Pick your way. I like to do the dates, in certain cases even down to the timestamp, morning, afternoon, just to make sure we stay ironclad against any kind of calamities that come to us. So tips and tricks for gathering research ammunition. Where do we go? Well, we go to the MTSU website. We also have Google Scholar. We also have ERIC, and we have educational leadership from ascd.org. What do we do when we get there? We have to start pawing through to see what we want to grab and start banking into our ammunition files. Then we see how we can stay organized, whether it's some sort of foldering system you've created. Then on top of that, you've got a note-taking system. It's really all about how you want to do it, but you've got to choose something. So anything you have questions-wise for this, we're going to get together this semester. We're going to help you. We're going to stay organized. We're going to take all of your questions. It's going to be a seamless process from now till you get a committee chair, and then a full committee will take care of it. Thank you for listening, and just let us know if you have any questions about gathering ammunition and where to get it, where to go, and how to make sense of it. Thank you.